My f30 BF m30 of 10 plus years has told me he has a baby with another woman. First off, never would I have imagined myself to be in this kind of situation. If I could go back in time, I would have worked much more harder into becoming a more independent and self-respected woman than what I am now. And I'm working on my own life slowly but surely. Now on to the story. My boyfriend and I broke up a little under 2 years now. We lived together at his place that him and his parents owned. When we broke up, he decided to move to another state while I stayed at the home taking care of the dog. Although we were broken up, we would still have regular conversations on a weekly basis. My thought was maybe I would give him this time and space since really we were each other's first real relationship and that he would come back around. His mom even thought he would come back. Spoiler, he does. When he would come back to visit, he would live at our place and I would do regular chores and cook for him, etc. Every time he would leave to go back to his state he would cry. Fast forward to Christmas 2022, he comes back home and tells me he has had a baby with another woman when we were broken up. Of course I was heartbroken and cried, etc. Whenever I ask him why he didn't tell anyone sooner, he just tells me it was too hard. He knew he fked up. But I felt like he could have told me and his family much sooner. To this day I don't understand why he didn't tell anyone until after the baby was born. He tells me he wants to be with me and I know all of you will tell me to leave. I'm still contemplating because he's been my person for so long, so I feel like I'd be able to work through all the shit. It's just hard because I feel like there's so many variables that come into play. Fast forward to few weeks ago, we plan to stay together and work things out. I tell my sister and she forces me to tell my mom, which then leads me to move back home with my family. They think we're broken up and they want me to move on. But my boyfriend and I are going to still try to work things out. In their eyes they think he's the worst. I know he's done bad. But I'm just telling myself he's just a really big idiot. My mom is telling me if he really loves me then he needs to get his life in order. I think for me too. I've become too dependent and stagnant that my life is just sad sometimes. I've just been working part-time retail for the sake of my needy dog, which kind of sounds like an excuse. But no one else will take care of her and I feel like she's been the only good thing in my life. His mom is coming in Sept, so she might have her for a bit. Right now my boyfriend and the baby mama are living together until their lease ends in Sept and taking care of the baby that will soon be one. I've told him that if he wants to be with me he has to co-parent and live separate from the baby mama. He thinks that will mess up the kid's life and that he thinks he should be with the baby and baby mama until the baby can understand why daddy is not living at home. That doesn't make any sense to me. Even if the relationship won't be a romantic one and just one that focuses on being parents, I think it would mess the baby up more if he remembers daddy living with mommy and then not, rather than daddy and mommy living in separate homes from the beginning. He also states that money is an issue as well. But at this point he's giving me nothing to work with. My mom and sister told me his words don't have any weight anymore. He has to speak with his actions, which I think is true. I'm just so lost as to what I should do. On another note, the baby mama I think is a gold digger. Why would you have a baby with a person you've only known for 3-4 months that was hung up on an ex? Not to fault just her, I think all parties are dumb as fuck including myself, but I can't seem to trust her. Mind you, it's not my boyfriend but my BF's family's money. Please, if you've gone through something similar and have advice, let me know. I'm talking with a psychotherapist as well to help me deal with my feelings. Listen to your mom and sister. Don't be a dummy anymore. Actions speak louder than his dumb words. Get therapy and know your worth. He wants you as a side chick. Just say no. Holy shit, you need therapy so bad. I was with my ex for 10 years too, and the whole time I kept telling myself, I've already spent X years with him, I have to make this work. It didn't work. He was a liar and he didn't actually care about me. No amount of additional time would have fixed this. This is the sunk cost fallacy. To save you a Google search. The sunk cost fallacy is our tendency to continue with an endeavor we've invested money, effort, or time into, even if the current costs outweigh the benefits. Just because you've already spent so much time with him, it doesn't guarantee that staying with him will pay off in the long run. He has already fucked up in a huge way and is making it worse every chance he gets. You may need to just cut your losses on this and leave him. Listen to your mom and sister. He is living with his baby mama. How can you contemplate going back to him? You'll have to deal with his kid and her mom for the rest of your life. And he already seems to put your relationship on hold for the sake of his kid. He wants you to wait for years until his kid is old enough. Girl, Get on with your life and tell him to go fuck himself with his kid and baby mama. Don't let that drama into your life. 27M. Can't stop thinking about fiancés, 26F. Coworker and friend, 24F. Long story short, I have been with my partner since high school, over a decade. Through the years things have been turbulent. Most of it from her cheating on me multiple times and me not providing love the way she needs. I've been left with some huge psychological trauma from the cheating, especially when she had slept with my friend and his girlfriend and they had all hidden it from me for years. That being said, we've continued to work on things and I've been hopelessly in love with her since the start, so I've always wanted to work on things. We'd been pretty strong the last few years and she has not cheated since 2018. This past year we've moved across the country for my job and I proposed to her. This past weekend we had some of her new work friends over for drinks, and I found that I was Viking in a very platonic way with one of her friends. I've never been one to have wandering eyes like that. She's cute obviously, but we share similar interests. Most of all, my partner shared with me recently that this coworker had just been told by her boyfriend that he cheated on her years ago and had kept it a secret. I am not supposed to be privy to this info, so did not bring it up and would not, as it's a violation of her privacy. She's still with the boyfriend for the time. Since that night I have not been able to shake this girl from my head. I've keep going back to her IG and my mind has been wandering to her. I've been feeling more depressed the last few days and have this unlabeled general sense of frustration. I feel like there is such a connection possible between the two of us, but I've obviously been subject to the horrors of cheating and would never do that to my or her relationship, if it was even on the table. I also feel like I want to protect this poor girl from the things that I had to go through and think that's a huge source of why I keep thinking of her. Has anybody been in a similar position before, and what happened? What can I do to sort this out in my head? I do not want to ruin a decade-long relationship over this little crush, but can feel myself becoming increasingly frustrated with my relationship despite my partner not doing anything wrong recently. I stopped reading at her cheating on you multiple times. You're a fool and need to leave her. They get one chance, they cheat, you're done. Otherwise you're just telling her she can cheat as much as she wants and you'll be her cuckold at home. My brother, you need to stop this engagement and leave this woman. That's not a relationship, that's a circus. Get out of the circus. Never take back a cheater. She knows she can get away with it. Leave this girl, ignore the other girl and get a therapist. m28. Can't get over my girlfriends, f27, past. First off, I want to clarify that I feel horrible about this. I don't want to think this way and I don't want to feel this way. I know it's unfair to her. So my girlfriend and I have been dating for about 9 months and we are thinking about moving in together soon. We spend a lot of time together and whenever she wakes up, she will check her photo memories of that certain day from last year, X years ago. She loves showing me, so I usually watch them with her. Every other day, there will be something that upsets me though. Sometimes it's a picture of her and one of her exes, just her exes, her explicit pictures that she sent to somebody else or something along those lines. She gets mad at me for being upset, because it's just her past and it's just memories. Recently, she went through her Facebook friends, for fun, and 60% of those people she had been intimate with or at least had received explicit photos from her. I didn't want to seem insecure, so I didn't ask her to remove them right away. But it had ruined my mood so severely, that in the evening I just had to tell her. She would just shrug and say how she doesn't care about these people and I shouldn't either. But if they are so irrelevant, why can't she just remove them? Same goes for the pictures. I asked her multiple times to please delete the pictures with her exes, at least the ones where they kiss or grab her inappropriately, but she said it's just too many to remove all of them. It all came down to yesterday, when she once again went through her photos and it was yet another explicit photo she had sent to someone, with a caption. So I kinda blew up and asked her if everybody in this town has seen her with her clothes off. I didn't mean to say it and of course I do not perceive her that way. I guess I'm just insecure. I apologized but she was very hurt by it and isn't speaking to me. I know I can't undo it, but I wish I could. I know I should just accept her past and ignore it, but I can't shake the insecure thoughts. How can I just move on? You're not doing anything wrong. I would have lost interest a long time ago. Just ditch her. Yours and her idea of what's acceptable are two very different things. Just move on. This isn't normal, man. She's trying to get a rise out of you. Don't move in with her. She is very inconsiderate of your feelings. If those people do not matter to her, and you supposedly do, then why wouldn't she erase those pictures? It is one thing to have a promiscuous past, and the other to show your partners mementos of such past on daily basis. You will be better off just breaking up with her. She starts your day by showing you nudes she sent to other people and pretending she doesn't understand why that's an issue. I'd split. How do I, 21 female, tell my mom, 40 female? I resent her for pressuring me into not getting an abortion. Too long did not read. My mom made me feel pressured into keeping a pregnancy despite severe mental illness, and now I resent her for it. I'm on mobile, so apologies for any formatting issues. A few months ago I found out I was pregnant and immediately planned on getting an abortion. I have really bad mental health problems that have gotten worse in the past 2 years. I'm also only 21 and in college, so can't financially afford a child. Although I was unsure if I should tell my mom, I decided I should, figuring she'd support me. Well, I was very wrong. She made it clear she didn't want me to get an abortion and told me that she would feel differently about me if I did. She promised to support me and the child financially if I kept it. She also pointed out that if I regret it, it'll make my mental health a lot worse, and said that having him would probably make me feel so much better. She used my cousin who struggled with depression and is now better as an example. Not long after I told her, she began telling a few other people despite knowing I didn't want her to. This all got to me and I decided I wasn't ready to make a decision, so cancelled my appointment. As soon as I did this, she began telling everyone I was pregnant. I felt like now I was unable to change my mind even if I wanted to. Now it's too late and I am starting to very much regret not getting the abortion. I have genuinely considered just abandoning the baby with her once it's born. I hate that she made me feel forced into keeping it and also feel as if she used me so that she can have another kid. She has had a few miscarriages over the past couple years. In addition to the regular adoption process, you can anonymously leave a newborn at a hospital or fire station in any place with safe haven laws. You are not required to identify yourself. I'm saying this as a reminder to people reading this post. Doesn't she realize pregnancy hormones and the postpartum period are going to make your mental health hell? If you are not highly pregnant, find a nice family for your baby. It surely will have a good life somewhere. But don't let yourself pressured by your mom again. Good luck with everything. It sucks, but now you've learnt your lesson. Your mom was a bit selfish. You have to go through with it, either find a family to adopt the baby to, or go through adoption. It's okay to not want a baby, and you've given them a life, which is a lovely gift. You're not a monster for not being ready. If you are still in the window to get an abortion and still want one, schedule it, have it, and just say you miscarried. It's okay to lie when you live with or have to interact with unsafe people. I'm sorry, you mom is only caring about herself instead of you. You deserve to much more.